Welcome everybody, it is UnstoppableStreletsy with yet another Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition caster game. We got ourselves a Deathmatch 2 versus 2 again, but this time it's teams with the same civ, right? We got a team here with two Frenchies, and we got a team here with two Ruskies. So Russia versus France, you know? I mean, if anything, what the Napoleonic era has told us, I think we know who's going to win this, but we'll see. We'll see, you know. Me on Team UnstoppableStreletsy think that Streletsy should obviously do this, but we'll see if France can hold it. Before we get started though, let's look at the map real quick. Basically, you got these little rivers here with little crossable fords, so you could definitely hide some buildings here if you want to, as well as capturing the trading posts on this side and this side. Also, you could capture some TPs on this side of the river as well. And then you got some natives down here about at the midway point that you could certainly use to your advantage as well. They'll give you some decent cav archers and some lance cavalry. But anyways, let's get started and see if the UnstoppableStreletsy team can beat the French Frog and Croissant team. Alright, let's go. Alright, so Russia. How is Russia going to handle this? So Russia, of course, is going to build a church first, which we see for both of them. So they could get mercantilism, get that nice, 2000 XP or something. Basically enough experience points to get 5 shipments right away. Russia here is going to focus on houses and multiple town centers. They're also going to put an artillery foundry, multiple artillery foundries. So they're going to focus on the RD first. We see the Red Russia also going for houses and town centers. Their buildings are going to be a foundry and a blockhouse. So this Russia here is probably going to start by spamming a lot of artillery to start with. And then they're going to get fencing school and dueling school so that they could start to instantly train their infantry right out of the first blockhouse or even the fort that they get. Since, yeah, you got options as Russia. You could use the bigger blocks from the blockhouse, or you could train them individually from forts, obviously. Either the Streletzys, the UnstoppableStreletzys, the Portochiks, which are halberdiers, and then the recruits, which are weaker musketeers. We see some of the recruits right now. You see Pujol's toy soldiers right here. This basically adds some stats to the recruits and also lets them build forts. So we'll probably see some forts be moved up further and further down the map as the match goes on. But unfortunately, these recruits are going to be stopped along the way by these dragoons. These dragoons are not going to do too well here, but the Baltic wires, that could pose a serious issue. Guard hussars, again, not the best thing to use here, especially when you got some Portochiks leading the front line over here. Is that an Oprishnik shipment we see? Interesting. So Russia might be going for a quick raid over here with those Oprishniks. We've seen that done before in these death matches, and Oprishniks can be great for sniping factories as well as other economic resources. Got cannons here. You can cover. Yep, try to cover those culverins if you can, because as soon as France starts moving these horse artilleries forward, you're going to need those culverins to target them right away. So they're literally going to destroy your Russian spam of the recruits very quickly if you're not careful. So we got one making coves and one making horse arty. Perfect. These cannons should provide sufficient cover for you to spam recruits out of your fort, and possibly even a blockhouse up ahead if you can. You also have to be aware that purple is starting to build in this area, which is going to cover that one. We also have teal actually starting to put outposts and a little bit of a wall on this side, blocking off much development beyond this trading post. That is a lot of horse arty we see over there. Quite a lot. Luckily you can back it up with some Cossacks, since again there are one population cavalry. So a pretty spammable option you can use to cover your arty with. And it looks like the Red Russia is going to provide some support in the form of the recruits, as well as the UnstoppableStreletzys to guard these cannons over here. These horse guns are going to be the main driving force to start crushing down these barracks, these stables, and slowly encroach their way into this base. Also, they can bounce the, which Russia is this? The Red Russia? So yeah, the Red Russia is going to use this native to basically improve their resource counts pretty much. Until it got taken down, of course. Yeah. Well, looks like they're going to focus on mortars now. I see some training up at the foundry. I also saw some ship from the home city. So it seems like they're going to use some mortars to try to shell their way, particularly in this wedge over here. That seems to have some towers in the way. Ah, nice! Look at this. Red Russia put the mortars on this side so they could start to open up another front. We're going to try to see if they can shell this wall down. The UnstoppableStreletsy should be able to shoot down these dragoons pretty easily. Especially with the help of the proto chicks. Oh, they're going to send heavy cannons as well. The heavy cannon shipment. That's going to be perfect for blasting apart these buildings and start to siege in from this side. Yeah, definitely. What's the French doing, by the way? I mean, we haven't really checked in with the French very much. Well, it looks like, which France would this be? The Purple France. They're looking pretty good economically with a lot of resources coming in. They seem to be focusing a lot on defense at this point, using rope wires and cannons to deter a lot of pushing. But of course, the Cossacks are going to try to disrupt all that with their spam ability and ability to just keep coming out. But our other France here, France number 2, the Teal France, they seem to be struggling right now. You know, they're dealing with a direct threat in their base, and this could potentially be fatal for them if they can't deal with it. Right, we see a big group of mortars right here ready to plop down, and they're definitely going to be capable of denying this fort right here. Let's see if they target the fort first. Yep, fort denied, and now these town centers are the next target. Let's see if these... Well, the problem with Voltaguires is they don't have a lot of anti-cannon shooting power, so... Yeah, you're going to need Hussars to do that, but unfortunately we have the Proto Chicks right on top of them, so they're going to slash apart these Hussars as they come in. I guarantee you at least 1 or 2 or maybe even more of these mortars is going to survive this Hussar charge, which it does look like happened here. We see about... how many of these? Let me go back to red. So we see about... yeah, 3 of these mortars are still on the field. Enough to probably take out this town center, I would say. Oh yeah, I mean, they're going to have these skirms directly firing on these mortars to potentially take them down in time. But, of course, you got the infantry to deal with, so it's a bit of a mess. Unfortunately, red is not reinforcing these mortars at all, so there is a chance that they could lose these mortars now at this point. Oh, a Pershnix. Pershnix, that's a good choice. If they come in bigger numbers, that is. I mean, if you're going to only send like 2 of them, surely you can do better than that. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing with the Pershnix. They're great if you can get like 20, 30, 40 of them. Like a big ball of them because they have a high siege. They also have multipliers against the villagers. So you're going to need a pretty big mass of them, which you have a very little time to do because you see these walls being ready to be reconstructed on this fort over here to stop the bleeding right now. At the same time, we see Blue Russia starting to make some advances here with their horse artillery push that they've been doing since the start, it looks like. They're using a combination of Cossacks to kill the cannons, kill the culverins, kill any potential pushing skirmishers, and then they're using the horse artillery to dish out even more damage to the infantry and to start sieging. Only hold there is to, of course, light cavalry, dragoons. And we see any Strelets on this side. A little bit over here, we see a couple of UnstoppableStreletsies on this area over here near the horse artillery, but surely not enough to deal with dragoons. For that, it seems like Blue Russia was literally just throwing Cossacks at the problem, hoping that they'd slice their way through, but they quickly changed course a little bit going this way, realizing, yeah, it's really not cost efficient for me to be wasting my units like that. As you can see right here, Blue Russia, only 300 food, 300 coin. This is not a lot of resources to live on. So you better find a more useful way to manage your units. Certainly sending Cossacks in the back and seeing what's going on in the back of the base can be good. You could even raid these Courier de Bois over here. Disrupt the French economy a little bit, you know? There's only so much you can do when you're behind in resources like that. One way is to get your resources up, another one is to knock down your army a few pegs. Which, let's see if they do that. Right now it seems to just be scouting, but Purple France is not having any of it. They're actually going to pursue these Cossacks out of the base entirely, as we see right here. This little contingent right here. Oh, we're starting to see the establishment of barges on these rivers here to start taking advantage of the trade route on this side. Yep, a trading barge. This is a lot more powerful than the standard ship that you get on that can actually deliver you resources. Oh, what's going on here? Artillery left in the open. That's a problem, especially against Corsairs. Are those Corsairs? Yeah, some of them are Corsairs. Yeah, these are some heavy cavalry units, you know. They get a splash attack, so... least thing you want to do is be leaving your cans out dry like that, because of course they're going to get picked off like super easily. Also the fact that you're making UnstoppableStreletsys. Well, they are unstoppable, but not against heavy cavalry, you know. You do not want to bring the Strelets onto the field when you see those. You want more of these things, the recruits, right? More recruits, possibly some porachicks. Or if you don't want to go with infantry, you could also try the Tatar Loyalist Cavalry Archers too. That's another option. Russia trying to be a little bit cheeky with their Poisier toy soldiers, trying to put a fort in over here. Yeah, this should be pretty helpful. Quite helpful, actually. One of the Frances just resigned, it looks like. The Purple France. Now, that's a game changer. That means now that Teal France has to survive on their own side. Can they do it, though? Well, food stockpile says no. But can they get enough coin to get some cannons out? Is the question. They do have some sufficient coin for like, I don't know, like 7 cannons now. So if they can balance that out, maybe. But, yeah, at this point I don't think so, because now you're starting to see both players starting to roll in at this. Well, this one just went back a little bit, but we'll see if they. Oh, they're going for the explosions here. Look at these petards. Very intimidating. These petards are just gonna blow up these factories like instantly. Yep, they're probably gonna send about half of them onto that factory, or a group of them. How many? Boom, 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 boom. So about, I don't know, like 3 or 4. Some more are gonna go into the stable. No, save some of them. You got a factory down there to blow up. Yeah, save them for the factory. Never mind. They have another group of them coming right behind them, so that'll be enough to take down that factory. And this, well, that town center doesn't matter anymore since that player's resigned, but they could try to work their way towards. Do they have any more towns? Yeah, this one over here. You could. I don't know though, because you got these trees and houses in the way, so maybe just blow up the houses a bit. Maybe blow up these stables. Don't waste a unit. I mean, petards are pretty expensive in their food and wood costs, so you gotta make sure you're at least blowing up something with them. Though it is arguable at this point that you basically won the game, since it's a 2 versus 1 at this point. Your ally is resigned, as we saw in the previous game when your French ally resigns and puts up their white flag, which they're famous for. You know, it's basically game over, and that's exactly what happened here. GG for the France team. You tried your best. But these Russians were very crafty, you know. Red Russia attacking from this side, and Blue Russia holding their own on this side with a little bit of red support was just enough to melt this enemy team here with sort of like a pincher claw, like this little U-shaped assault. And combine those two attack patterns, they were able to force the enemy's economy back, kill villagers, and in the end start blowing up factories. Let's look at the post-game and see how well they manage their economies. So, Russia team, they definitely manage their economy a lot better, as you can see here. Higher resource counts. France team is a little bit behind, I would say. Militarily, it seems like the French did a lot better in kills. In particular this one though, the teal one did. The purple one not so much, and then Russia sort of in the midway point between purple France and the teal France. You notice both of these two went with a lot of skirmishers, and when you look here you notice, Blue Russia went with a lot of Cossacks, which we saw many times protecting those cannons, and that just makes you think, like, if I'm going to spam a bunch of skirmishers, what's the one way that I can lose in that situation? That would be a massive spam of Cossacks. Cossacks in large numbers are enough to defeat skirmishers. So make sure you're always changing up your units when you know something's changing. Potentially halberdiers could have been a decent option to deal with these Cossacks mixed in with the skirms. So maybe we'll see that next time from these players. Anyways, this was a nice little UnstoppableStreletsy versus Baguette Croissant Frog experiment. Hopefully we'll see some more deathmatch situations like this to come. See you in the next one. Signing off now.